Hi. So for this practice, you can start wherever you're most comfortable. So depending on when you're doing this and what else you've got going on in your day, maybe you want to start seated, kneeling, or on your bottom. You can start standing or even on your back. So go ahead and get comfortable. And once you're there, maybe you close your eyes and start with a few deep breaths, filling up and emptying out. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Maybe you place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and feel into that rhythm. Feel into the breath. Just bringing awareness to the mind, the body, and the breath. Connecting through this practice. Continuing to settle on your breath, or perhaps you set an intention. Are there words that are coming up for you that you need to hear? And then focusing on your breath. And release your hands if they were on your heart and your belly. And gently begin to turn your head a little bit here, side to side. And bring your head back to neutral. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or you can gently blink them open. Gonna reach the right arm out in front of us and lower it down. And then the left arm and lower it down. And then the right arm. So feeling into your range of motion. Maybe the arm is lifting just in line with the shoulder. Maybe it's going higher. Maybe it's reaching all the way overhead. I'm just continuing this movement, alternating one arm and then the other. And when you're even, so taking your time, going one last round. Release both arms by your side and then reach both arms. So maybe again, that's in line with your shoulders or a little higher, not forcing this movement, and then just breathe there. Noticing where your ribs are. If you feel like your ribs have thrust forward, see if you can gently draw them down. And then lower the arms back down. Reach the arms straight out in front of you as if you were pressing the wall in front of you away, or if you're on your back, pressing the sky away. And then draw your shoulders back and separate them as you push into that space. Arms stay relatively straight. And movement coming from the shoulders or the shoulder blade. And then find neutral. Let your fingers lift and lower, and a little bit of movement here through the wrists. And then shake out the hands, shake out the arms, lower them back down. And if you were on your back, go ahead and start to bring yourself up. If you are standing, you can start to circle. And if you're seated, you can begin to just gently circle your torso. Just getting a little bit of movement here. If you're kneeling like I am, maybe getting an extra little ankle and foot stretch. Just moving. And then begin to go in the opposite direction. So we're circling the torso around the hips. And come back to neutral. So if you're on the floor, you're going to start to make your way upward. If you're standing, you're going to make your way into a forward fold. So tuck your toes and start to lift so you come onto your feet, fold over your legs. Allow your knees here to bend as much as you like. Maybe your belly's even resting on the thighs. Arms can hang. Maybe you hold opposite elbows, or hands can be on the legs, depending on where you are in your folds. Pressing through the feet, rising up. Lower the arms and begin to roll through your shoulders. And then go in the opposite direction. And release. We'll get a little bit of movement through the feet. So feet are planted about hip distance apart. Lift and spread your toes, and then plant them down, and then lift one heel, pressing into the foot, lower it down, lift the other heel, lower down, lift and lower. So this slow marching, getting some movement through the foot. And then see about doing that together. So we're gonna lift and lower. See if you can slow down that descent and try to keep your heels staying in. Sometimes they're going to want to try to flail out to the side. So we're lifting and lowering. Last time, see if we can balance on the toes. Find that balance, that wobble as you shake and shimmer, just woo, and we come out. And try one more time. Lifting up onto the toes. Again, trying not to let your ankles collapse, pulling them in towards the center. And then allow your body to wiggle or wobble as you try to balance here. Lifting high up on your toes and release it down. Shake out the legs and come back into your mountain pose. Sweeping the arms out and up. Maybe you look up, palms face each other, or interlace the fingers, press through the feet, reach to one side, come through center, and reach to the other side. And keep that going. Reaching over, coming through center, reaching over, and coming through center. Last time each side. Come back. Release the arms behind you, either to the small of your back, or interlace the fingers, elbows bent, palms open, or palms together, elbows straightening, pressing through your feet, opening up the chest. And release that. Shake it out. Come to the top of your mat space, or whatever space you have. Come to the top so you have room to step back. Hands on the hips. And we're going to hinge from the hips and take a step back with the right foot. A big step back if you want to come into a lunge, so the heel is lifted, front knee bent. This feels a little unsteady. You can come close to a wall, or maybe you bring that foot in a little bit and drop the heel, but you might widen your front leg a little bit so you feel like you're more on railroad tracks and nice and steady. Hands to the hips as you take a couple of breaths here. Now we're going to reach the arms straight out in front of us, palms to face each other. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let that left arm sweep down and then come forward. So staying with that left side, sweeping down, coming into that twist and coming forward. Sweeping back and coming forward. Last time, we're gonna hold it. So reaching with both arms. If this doesn't feel good for your back shoulder, maybe the hand comes to the hip instead. Continue to draw upward, strong in your legs, and then that right arm is reaching forward. And then unwind. Hands can come to the hips or reach up as you step your back foot forward. Lower the arms, give everything a little shake. I'm gonna do the other side. So hands on hips, hip shift to shift your weight. I'm gonna do the lunge on this side, but feel free to come back into that shorter stance. Set yourself up, shoulders over hips. Start to notice your lower belly working. Strengthen the legs to hold and support you as you connect with your breath here. And then the arms are gonna reach straight out in front. Take a breath in. And now the right arm is gonna sweep down and back, coming into that twist, and come forward. Sweeping down and back, and come forward. One more time like that. And then this next time, we hold it. So arm can reach or come to the hip. Keep reaching with your left arm, growing taller through the crown of your head and pressing through your feet. And slowly unwind, hands to hips or reach them up as you step the back foot forward. Lower the arms and shake it out. We come back now into a straddle. So coming wide with your feet, about parallel, and let your hips shake a little side to side, small hip circles. And we'll take a fold here. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge from your hips. So hands can stay on your thighs. You stay upright with a flat back halfway or any amount. Let the fold come from the hips. Hands can slide down the legs, come to fingertips or to the floor as you breathe into the back body. Press into the feet. Hands can come to the thighs as you rise up. Maybe the arms reach overhead. And lower, roll the shoulders. Warrior two, let your toes turn in slightly. Your right leg is gonna turn outward. And then bend the knee and reach the arms. Lower the arms and straighten the leg. Bend the knee and reach the arms. And release. And can connect this movement with the breath. Inhale as you come into the warrior and exhale as you come out. Adjusting your feet wider if you need to, if you feel like when you bend the knee you're a little cramped. And just using the breath and the movement to get that flexibility, but not going so far that you can't control the movement back upward. Last time. Rise up, let the toes turn back to center. Sweep the arms. Release the arms behind you, again to the small of the back. Interlace the fingers. Open up. And release. Let your hips wiggle. We do the other side. So let the toes turn in slightly. Left foot turns outward. Stack the knee, reach the arms, and we'll begin to gently move in and out. Moving with your breath here. Last time. Rising up, toes turn back to center. Sweep the arms out and up. Release the hands behind you. Open up the chest. Stay here. And then on an exhale, fold forward. So again, stop halfway or any amount towards the floor. Hands can stay resting on the back, or perhaps they start to reach towards the sky if your hands are interlaced. Hands on the back, elbows towards the sky. Keep squeezing them towards each other. Press through the feet, rise back up. Release the arms. Now you can keep your feet facing forward and stay right like this. Or maybe you let your toes turn outward a little bit and drop into a little bit of a squat. So knees are going to try to track in the same direction as your toes. You're still upright in the torso. Open up the arms. Give yourself a hug. Right elbow on top of left. Open it up. Left elbow on top. So feel free to hold this. Or maybe as you open, you lift, and as you close, you squat. So you can add a little bit more movement if you like, or you can hold in that squat. Or again, your legs can just stay upright. So you're just customizing this to how you're feeling as you're doing this practice. And then the next time that your right elbow comes on top of your left, give yourself that hug. You can stay in the squat or not, just squeezing it in. Inhale, open it up, and left elbow on top of right. Give yourself that hug. And open, release. Go ahead and heel toe the feet, step the feet together. Give anything a little shake that needs it as we make our way down to the floor. So take your time, and then we can lift our hips up on a blanket or a block or a pillow, a cushion, whatever you have, and allow yourself to sit up nice and tall. Your legs extended out in front of you. So you're stacking shoulders over hips. You've got the natural curves of your spine. And take a few breaths as you settle. Now we take a twist. Let your right leg bend. So the foot comes next to the calf or next to the thigh. What feels good for your knees as well as your posture. We sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, turn to the right. Both hands hugging the leg. Stay here, or your right hand might come next to you or behind you. But we're still sitting up nice and tall, rooting through our sits bones, pressing through that heel, opening into this twist. And then very slowly unwind. We'll twist in the other direction. So your hand can come to your ankle, other hand right next to you or behind you as you start to open up now to the left. And come back to center. Let your leg extend, shake it out, and we switch. So we bend the left foot to the floor, next to the calf or the thigh, sit up nice and tall. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, begin to twist, both hands hugging the thigh, or left hand next to you or behind you. And slowly release to center. We do that twist on the other side. So we bring the hand to the ankle, right hand next to us or behind us as we open into this twist. And very slowly release. Release both legs long, shake them out. And then do a little internal and external rotation, not just from the feet, but think about the thighs coming from the hip socket, open and close. And we'll make our way down to our backs. So you can either scoot yourself a little bit forward or roll to your side to get to your back, right? If you want to put a blanket or a little pillow underneath your head, that might feel supportive. Feet on the floor. But when you first get here, maybe gently windshield wiper the legs or hug the knees in, just giving yourself a little massage here. And we'll plant the feet back on the floor, hip distance apart. Hands can be by your side or on your belly. And you're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest. Let your right leg extend to the sky and get a little bit of movement through the foot. Point and flex. Circle the ankle. Opposite direction. And then flex the foot. Externally rotate so the toes turn out, the heel turns in. And now start to bend the knee so the ankle comes on top of the left thigh. The right leg opens out. You can bring your hands again to your hips. Maybe they open in a T or cactus shape, staying right here. You might start to bring your left leg in and breathe. Sometimes a really small, slow rocking side to side will change how that feels in your body. And then let the legs release back down to the floor. The arms can release. Take a moment here. And we'll do the other side. So bring the left leg in, let it extend. Point and flex through the foot. Circle through the ankle. Both directions. When we flex the foot and take that external rotation, so toe turns out, heel turns in, and then bend the knee so the ankle comes to the thigh, leg opens out to the side. Take a few breaths to settle, then maybe the arms again can open however feels good. Keep the right foot on the floor, or maybe you start to bring it slowly in towards the chest. And right foot back down, left foot releases, hands can lower. Can widen your feet a little and gently windshield wiper the legs. So the knees are dropping to one side and then to the other. And then take a whole body stretch. Reach your arms and legs away from each other. And as you exhale, bring your right knee in. Hand can come behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Can gently press through your left foot. On an inhale, release back into that whole body stretch. Open it up. Exhale, bring the left leg in. So whatever is accessible to you behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Breathing here. Whole body stretch, reach along. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Hands behind the thighs, rock a little bit. And let your knees come wide towards the shoulders. So your heels are still towards your bottom. Stay right there. Or it might feel nice to start to reach the soles of the feet towards the sky. Knees are still bent. Hands can stay behind the thighs, or they could come to the calf, to the ankle, or to the outside blade of the foot. If it feels good, stay still. If it feels good, rock side to side. And then slowly release. You can hug both knees back in towards the chest. And then hands can come to the thighs or they can release down by your side. Just let both legs extend up to the sky. And take a few breaths here. Bend both knees, place the feet on the floor. We'll take a little twist. So press into the feet, let your hips shift a little to the right, let them land, and then your knees drop over to the left. And you can adjust this a little bit. So if you need a little bit of support, if you have some props to help support your body, arms can stay close or reach away. You can look up or look over the right shoulder as your body settles into the floor. And we come back through center. Hands can lower, shift your hips to neutral. And we do the other side. So gently press into the feet to lift and shift your hips to the left. Let them drop. Knees drop over to the right. And then the arms can adjust as you settle into the twist on this side. And slowly come back to center. Shift your hips to find neutral. Maybe let your knees rock side to side, or if you want to draw them in. Any other bit of movement that would feel good right now. And when you feel ready, we come into Shavasana. So traditionally, we just lie on the floor here. But as you already know, if you've been practicing with me, I encourage you to come into whatever resting position feels best. So blanket or pillow under the head, maybe under the knees. Legs can be bent, legs can be extended. You could be on your side, legs up a wall, chest opener. So just exploring and coming into a resting pose that feels appropriate for your practice today. And then once you're there, allow your eyes to close. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up. And let it go out the mouth. And again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let go of the effort in the breath. Allowing the body to rest. The mind may settle on the rise and fall of the chest and belly. Resting here just as you are. If time allows for you to stay longer here, please do so. And when you are ready to return to your day, start to deepen your breath. Wiggle fingers and toes. Roll through your wrists and ankles. Perhaps reaching the arms overhead. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. If it feels good, rolling over to one side. And when you're ready, slowly begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Hands in your lap, eyes still closed. On an exhale, chin drops down towards the chest. You roll it slowly along the collarbone. Bring your head back to neutral, gathering your hands in front of your heart. Connect with your breath. Connect with your practice. Filling with gratitude for this time, this body, this life. Together we inhale, sweeping the arms overhead, palms to touch. Slowly lowering to the forehead as we remind ourselves to think kind thoughts, to the lips to speak kind words, and to our hearts to always guide our actions. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.